It's Monday morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, my friends. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Mitch. Man, look at all the activity. Take a break from chatting for a second and drink it if you got it. One more. Great to see you all. Look at all of you here so far. Wow, the pre-chat was crazy. It was nuts. And I've been up since 4 a.m. I mean, right on the money. 4 a.m. Rambled around, rearranging things, cleaning things, getting ready. Seems like half a day's gone by, and here it is. Only 8:30. It's great to see everybody here this morning. Did watch all of the news this morning, and nothing noteworthy in the health realm, but nothing too aggravating either. I kind of find, at least for me, and maybe most of us, the news is a little less aggravating. I did get a kick. I did get a kick about the Colombian president, if you haven't heard about him yet. I don't want to get into much politics, but things have definitely changed in this country. Believe me, the level of respect people have for our country has gone from 0 to 100 in a half a second. It's crazy. But the haters will always hate. And there's no shortage of them either. No shortage of them. Same old haters. Same old line. Anyway, it is a little more optimistic, a little more encouraging, and at least for some of us, and some of us probably are still scared to death, and doesn't mean that I like you any less or more. Just make that clear. Whatever side of the spectrum you're on, we're here. We're here with a common goal. A common goal to get healthy, cure our diseases, lose weight, support each other, answer questions, motivate. Every morning. And I think we need this. Throwing a link in the chat, enough said. I'll turn off the stupid banner in a minute or two. If I don't remind me, I get busy. All right, let's get right to it. Let me go over the pre-chat real quick. We'll get to my plumbing update and other news that I have on my show notes. A couple of things to talk about. And then I'll get into the questions if there are any. Put QQQ in the chat. I'll try not to miss it. As you know, generally towards the end of these things, I'm usually so far behind I got to start running, and sometimes I do miss it. Meanwhile, I want all of you to feel welcome. If I happen to miss sometimes saying hi to you, it's just the nature of these things. First one in, Peter, congratulations last night around 8 o'clock, followed by B81 Mac, who says he gave it the first thumbs up. Yes, you did, Mac. Wayne Herman was in there last night from Gaston, North Carolina. Feral Grandma was here last night. Nikki W. Brother Delphi. Questions, does your blood test give you a folate result? I will look. I do have, I think, most of my blood test results. Interestingly enough, my friends, I almost don't care. I don't place much regard on those numbers. I glance at them and may have a full 8. Wasn't anything I was looking for or worried about. I know that may sound strange, but oh, look at this. Look at this. Right off the bat. Ketra bought me 3 coffees. Wow, thank you. Thank you. Good morning, Mitch. Here's your Monday coffees. Thanks for all you do. Drink up, my friend. Ketra, to you, from me and Kenny. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And Princess Mom bought me a coffee too. Thank you. You are helping so many people. Thank you for all you do. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that you feel that way. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Okay, where was I? Where was I? Lady Jane was here from, I think from England or United Kingdom, if I'm not mistaken. 11:21. That would be early in the morning for them over there. Maybe not. Maybe, I think she is, but I'm not sure. Anna, PLO7, good to see you at 12:22 a.m. And they were chatting back and forth, Lady June and Anna. Look at this chat. Holy cow. And then Jose. Jose Q, good morning. Good morning, Carnies, he said. And that was at 3:25. Cool, cool. Michael Pregler checked in at 4:51. Morning, everyone. He says, eat meat, lifting heavy weights. Cliff Medina chimed in and said, hi, Mitch, around 6. Mike Seeley Sr. rolled out of bed around 6. About 6:45, we had Bob Black. Thomas, Target Prime Rib was here. Patty Molden was here. Francine Bourgeois. Good morning, everybody from Montreal, Canada. Rick and the Ducks are up in Miami. Hi, Rick. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Lynn Gerber, Kat, Marla Kelly was here. Michael Pregler got back from the gym. Good for you. Good for you. Aunt B was here. My fingers went on strike until I gave them at least 1/3 a cup of coffee. I know the feeling. I know the feeling. Warm themselves up. Speaking of warm, it's going to get a little warmer here this week. In fact, the weatherman promised us, and I'll believe it when I see it, he promised us down here in Florida that the way the weather patterns are setting up, we should pretty much be over the worst of the winter weather we're going to get this year, which would be terrific. We'll still have cool nights, but we're looking at highs. Our average highs this time of year is supposed to be 72. We haven't seen that in quite a while, but we're going to start seeing it. And he pretty well guarantees, at least for the next 3 weeks, we're going to have gorgeous weather. So hopefully I'll be able to go back outside in the morning with this thing. Because I just love that morning sun in my face out there, and I miss it. I miss it. I miss it. So we'll see. We'll see. Mike Seeley from Tampa's here. Hiya, Mike. How you doing? Boyd Lamb. Good morning, Boyd. Good to see you. Tina. Hiya, Tina Schweikerath. Good morning, Mitch and everyone. She says at 8:13. We're starting to sneak up on the start of this thing. William McCartney chimed in. I chimed in. You know when I chime in, it's almost there. We're almost there. Brooke, Spiritual Nomad, says, good morning. Good morning. Scott Evans. Good morning, Scott. Good to see you. President Mitch. No, thank you. The guy's got the job is okay with me. I don't want that job. I don't know if I could handle that. I don't think many people in this country could really handle that job. I mean, handle it. Be on top of it, not just going through the motions. Sandy Blythe, how you doing, Sandy? Good to see you. Tuka's here. Good morning. Tuka's in the duck motif this morning. Good to see you. Hope you're over that flu. Dixie Scott says good morning. Aaron Booby Goats is here. Good morning, Aaron. Bryce Hatch joined us. Hi, Bryce. How you doing? We're still at 8:28. Dixie Scott. Hiya, Dixie. Steve Studley. Still looking for the butter and the... I thought you'd found it, but I must have been mistaken. Wow. And Ketra chimed in here. Good morning, Ketra. Good morning. And B, Jackie W, Realtor in Indiana, good morning to you. I'm assuming your last name is not Realtor. I'm assuming that's your profession. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let's see, are we up to 8:30 yet? No, but Tanya's here, Kitchen Witch. How you doing, Tanya? Good to see you this morning. Great to see all the regular people here this morning. We at 8:30 yet? No, 8:29, 8:29. Edward Renner and holy cow, Dixie and Aaron and Lori and everybody's trying to hit the bell. And Gary at No Slow, so close, man. And ding, 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 the winner this morning, the Carnivorous Butcher. Congratulations. You've won. For what it's worth. And man, following up a millisecond later is Robbie Audrey. Robbie, I think you got some system. You get pretty close, if not on it most of the time. That's cool. And Claudia Burkick chimed in. Hiya, Claudia. And here are the rest at 8:30. Rick, B81 Mac, Don Schonger, Aaron, Lady Jane, Granny Boo 2. Look at this. Target Prime Rib Thomas, Tuca, Aaron again. Some of you guys can hit 3-4 times during the first minute. And Princess Mom, good morning to you. And Gregory Smith is here, 8:30. Josephine C, 8:30. Lori's Carnivore Story, 8:30. Thomas again. Aaron again. Carnivorous Cat Bomb. Life After Carbs. Chris, how you doing, Chris? Still 8:30. Aunt B again. Mama Bear. Hiya, Mama Bear. How are you? Smoothie. 4:20, 8:30. We're unbelievable. Dixie Scott, 8:30. Granny Boo again, 8:30. Tuca again, 8:30. Michael Bregler at 8:30. Is this ever going to end? Gil Ream, how you doing? And yes, that was the last at 8:30. Wow, I think that's a new record for today. And Lori, hiya, Lori. Lori starts out the 8:31 minute to officially launch the show after the horse race gets done and the final horse crosses the starting gate. I should have a graphic of a horse race on the screen while I'm calling that thing. Well, that's great. That's great. Good to see everybody. And Tammy Petarch bought me a coffee too. Good morning, Mitch. Thank you for your support. Tammy, my pleasure. Thank you for that. And that catches me up to the coffees and everything, so I will turn that banner off so you don't have to watch that go by the whole stream. Keep it in mind. I see Jonathan just checked in. Good morning from Alaska, 4:45 a.m. and getting it done. Yeah, Jonathan and I missed he got busy last Wednesday. We didn't get a chance to talk, but I want to have him on as just a little pop-in guest, not a co-host, just a pop-in guest. And we were thinking about a Wednesday, and maybe Jonathan, this Wednesday you might want to do it, but shoot me a text, and then we'll make arrangements because we won't really talk again until Wednesday night. Glad you're here this morning. Let me get to my show notes. Okay. Take a little break here. A little sip of coffee. Tuka chimed in, says, QQQ, not a question, but I got to try to make you smile sometimes despite my flu. I hope your flu's getting better there. I hope it's getting better. All right, you're chatting away, so I will get to my show notes, which are not really long. Told you to put the QQQs. Put the link in there for you. We have a meetup tomorrow, my friends, tomorrow. And Mike Seeley, I don't think we're going to have a whole lot of people there. I mean, I'm looking at with you and your wife and your father and me and maybe 6 or 8 other people that I think I've gotten RSVPs from. That's going to be about it. So I don't know who you got that I don't know about. So let's just plan on that. I don't even know if we're going to need the big meeting room with that few people, but I'll let you decide and just let the restaurant know. And make sure that they didn't cancel our reservation like they always do every time we have one of these things, and we don't find out till the last minute. So I won't call you today. You call me if you have any questions. That's about all I got to tell you. Otherwise, I will see everybody who's coming there at 8:30, and it may be a bigger event than I think, or a small, intimate little gathering of carnivores, but that's the way these things go. 11:30 a.m., the Estampa Gaucha Steakhouse, Brazilian Steakhouse in Melbourne, Florida, in the Melbourne Square Mall. If for some reason you find yourself landing in Melbourne tomorrow around that time and find yourself totally surprised when you wake up and find out where you are, you know where we'll be. Come on by. My plumbing update. Any of you who think the plumber actually finished in the time that he said he would finish, raise your hands. Anybody? Bueller? Didn't think so. And I didn't think so either, quite frankly. I mean, and he's a great guy, this plumber. And I want to show you a picture of him. I want to show you a picture of him from yesterday. This is my plumber standing out there. Oh, let me get rid of, I always do that. Let me get rid of that. There you go. Nothing personal. There's the crawl space to get under my house. And there's 2 guys. I think one of them at that point was under the house. They're trying to do as much of the fitting and putting in the fittings and crimping as they can outside. Crap laying all over the place. Challenging job. They got a good head start on the actual plumbing yesterday. Hopefully they'll finish today. I'm waiting for my phone to go off with a text telling me that he's on the way. The good news, however, is I still have water, and he probably won't have to turn the water off until he has everything all built under the house and ready to actually connect to the drops that come down from in the house. So that's my plumbing adventure, and I, again, will probably be tied up with these guys because there are times when they need a hand, believe it or not, especially feeding that ridiculously inflexible pipe that wants to curl up everywhere. So I'll probably I have some shopping I have to do. They need a few more little pieces. I got to run to Lowe's this morning. It's the gift that just keeps on giving. And maybe tomorrow I will be able to celebrate and say it's done. But there's still a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do because now the whole underside of the house has to be re-insulated everywhere they had to cut in, and the vapor barrier put up. And then that stem wall that runs along the side is falling apart after all these years. I need to replace. So I'm going to be busy working on this house, and you're going to get to see what it's like as I almost rebuilt the entire friggin' place. Oh, man, that's the plumbing update this morning. Drama. Got a couple of comments. I get these comments from people. I get stupid comments from people. Usually it's 3 or 4 consecutive comments from one stupid person. And I got one the other day. And I just want to, I know you guys, it doesn't apply to you guys, but let me just put on the record that anybody that types a message to me in all capitals and that tells me I better stop what I'm doing because I'm killing people, they're gone. I mean, I will never answer a comment like that, and I don't ever want to see anything from that person again. I don't think anybody would blame me for not giving the benefit of the doubt and trying to establish a dialogue with somebody like that. Those things used to ruin my day. They don't ruin my day anymore, but I just don't hesitate. Adios. See ya. I saw a YouTube video yesterday, and what a surprise! What a surprise! We have a new a little politicky, but I thought it was interesting because it is health related. We have a new CIA director, Radcliffe. Didn't take him like 1 day in office to actually find the documents that we've never been able to see. That pretty well said that the CIA knew all along that the big C thing that happened in the year 2000 actually came from the bio lab in Wuhan and not a bat from the wet market. Imagine that. Took 1 day. 1 day. And that message finally got out. God, I hope that's indicative of what we're going to. A little more honesty from our government, a little more transparency, a little less propaganda and bullshit. Please, please. I think that's what we voted for this time. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. I don't know about you guys, but I never believed. And is Fauci going to have to answer to any of this? I doubt it. And do we want that? Do we want to spend our time going forward just getting revenge on the people that have basically ruined our lives and our health for the past 30 years? Is revenge the way to go? As much as it's satisfying, and we have an urge to see these people hauled off in chains after what they've done to us. It's not productive for the future. We need to spend our time being positive, looking forward, and making sure that we never allow these frigging people to be in a position of power anywhere ever again. And the instant that they show any signs of that type of criminal personality, that we get rid of them before they can do any damage. And don't let them cement themselves in for 30 or 40 years of being able to do that damage. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Politics. One other thing that I saw yesterday, and it's really not that big a deal. I did see a couple of thumbnails, and this is no dig on the Keto Upgrade channel, but I see more and more of these things. And we've talked about this before. I think these things are so destructive. I think that anybody that starts a carnivore lifestyle and is not serious enough about understanding their addictions and how those addictions are triggered by make-believe versions of addictive foods. Before they even start, why waste their time? Why waste their time? They're not going to succeed long term. They may succeed for a month or two, but if they spend their days, and if you spend your days, and I know most of you know this, watching videos about how to make real low-carb keto pizza dough, well, let me tell you something. That's not carnivore. That's not carnivore. But this is what you see. You see everywhere. I have another thumbnail from a carnivore influencer that I know, and I'm not going to show you because I think she's great. But she's doing it too. Only she's labeling it carnivore. And it's not carnivore. Even if you manage to make this stuff with 0 carbs, it's still going to sabotage an addict. It will. It will, unless you're not that much of an addict. And if you're not that much of an addict, the rest of us envy you, and fine, have your make-believe pizza. But if we think as carb addicts, and that's most of us, because we know we're carb addicts, we just can't not fall off the wagon. If most of us can't, are stuck like that, we have to avoid that stuff. And let me tell you the thing that really got me about that one thing. Let me show it to you again. Look at the view count. One day, 6,100 views. What does that tell you? My videos get 1,000 views, 1,500 anymore. Even Sean Baker's videos, 1,000 or 2. Anthony Chafee, some of his videos, 1,000 or 2 views. What does that tell you about the average person that needs to get healthy and lose weight? What the hell are they watching? They're not watching me. They're watching everything that tells them how they don't have to change a friggin' thing about their life. They just need to try to make low-carb versions of cakes and cookies and pies and pizza and everything else. That does not work. But that's their addiction driving their viewing habits on YouTube. If you need proof, these videos end up with tens or hundreds of thousands of views because they're addiction driven. And you don't even realize why you're clicking on them. That is a sad fact. That's a sad fact. And that, my friends, ends my show notes for today. And wow, it's 9 o'clock, and so far my plumber has not texted me to tell me he's on the way. I hope he shows up. I want to get this stuff done. Please, please get this stuff done. So, questions, Q. I saw a couple run by, and I got a little time. I have a video coming out today. Now, YouTube tells me that on Monday, most of my viewers aren't on until 3 o'clock. It's strange. On Saturday, it's 11 o'clock, and it varies from day to day. So I always try to release a video because whether they say it that the time you release it doesn't affect the long-term view count, which I believe. But unless that thing shoots out of the gate like a racehorse, YouTube will not push it out, and it just dies. So there's no chance for a long-term view count on a video unless it gets off to a good start. So I've learned that by trial and error over years of being on YouTube, and I try to release it. So it says that most of you will be around. Many of you will be around between now and 3 o'clock, but most of you will be around after 3. I usually jump the gun by an hour. So about 1:45 maybe, I think I have it coming out. So look out for that. Look out for that. Let it be a surprise. Let it be a surprise. I think it was, I will tell you, it's a particularly good little segment from one of my morning shows, but I put it out as a standalone because the morning shows in total don't get nearly the kind of views. And I want, when I do something on the morning show that I think is that everybody should hear. I make a standalone out of it. And that's what this is. So if you've seen it before, watch it again. It's worth it. It's not that long. Okay, where are we? Where are we? We were at 8:31. We were at 8:31. Robbie asked me, how's the plumbing, Mitch? Well, you got the whole story there, my friend. You did get the whole story. Danny in Boston's here. CB Carmack's here. And everybody wants to know about my plumbing. Wayne Herman, is your plumbing repaired? It's getting there. It's getting there. But the good news is I at least have water in my house now. He did fix the one leak that I had temporarily while he was under there. It was easy to fix. Took him 5 minutes. And for that, a plumber wanted that 5-minute fix. A plumber, what it was going to cost me over $1,000 just to have a mainstream plumbing company with 2 guys and a truck come out here. Was going to be over $1,000 just in their basic, this for the first hour, this for the second hour, plus parts, plus this, plus that, plus the other. It's nuts. That's why I tried to fix it myself. This guy, when he fixed it for me, he crawled out and he said, how much did the other guy say he was going to charge you? I laughed. Graceful Lily's here. Good morning to you. Cecilia Heil, good morning. Good morning. Tammy, good morning. How are you? And looking for new people and questions. At this point, I go a little more slowly, but I'll speed up. Here we go. Here's a question from Princess Mom. Good morning, Mitch. Need info on carnivore and Alzheimer's. My mom just passed. Sorry to hear that. Sorry for your loss. I'm sure all of us, and I'm sure many people in the chat, since this is probably 30 minutes behind, have already expressed their condolences. There's some mounting evidence that carnivore, or even a ketogenic diet, any diet that gives you metabolic health is going to help with Alzheimer's. But in my mind, in my opinion, which I'm sure is shared by other people, there are times when I think that the greatest cause of these dementia disorders, like of which Alzheimer's is one, are artificially lowering our cholesterol. I don't know why I don't hear this more often. Just like I don't hear carb addiction more often. And yet I've got a room full of people here that know firsthand that that's what's been killing them their whole lives, just like with me. And I truly believe that our body makes the cholesterol for a reason. And if we don't eat the things that destroy the cholesterol, the seed oils, the oxidative stuff, the excess sugar that glycates these things and damage the LDL particles, it's not the cholesterol that's being damaged. It's the vehicles that carry the cholesterol. I talk about that so much, and yet they still equate the two. They still, and I don't even know if the medical profession, most of them, even know what cholesterol is. It's not LDL. It's not HDL. It's none of those things. It's a molecule of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. That's the same whether it's in an HDL lipoprotein or in an LDL lipoprotein or in a chylomicron or in a VLDL or an ILDL. It is still only a cholesterol molecule, and our body makes this stuff for many, many reasons. It makes this stuff, most importantly, to keep our brain working. It is the substance that insulates the connections between the neurons of the brain, basically keeping our brains from short-circuiting. They call that a myelin sheath. Now, you know that my philosophy, my overreaching philosophy about good health is don't micromanage any biological function. Just eat the right foods and provide the right nutrients. Don't eat the poisons, and you have the best shot at a healthy life. Supplement only those things you know you need, and you can identify why it is you need those things. Don't fall for every passing fad, every magic supplement, every magic thing, every new thing that you hear that's going to change your life. Life's been chugging along for millions of years before we got here, running on this programming. Let it run. Fooling with cholesterol production in the human body was a terrible idea. And we now know it was all based on misconceptions, but politics, greed, and corruption, it took hold. Don't fool with your cholesterol, whatever it is. My cholesterol is very high, viewed as deadly by most. And yet here I am. It's amazing. I hope I don't have to prove to you that my brain works. I do that every day. And yet, cholesterol is so important to our brains that it makes its own. So cholesterol is manufactured by the body. When I say cholesterol, I'm not talking about lipoproteins. I'm talking about the actual cholesterol molecule. It's manufactured in the brain just in case the liver can't make enough. And of course, there's the blood-brain barrier. And having the cholesterol made in the brain means there's always going to be enough. Couple that with the fact that we do not eat enough fat. And the brain is made up of primarily, believe it or not, other than the nerve cells, the neurons, fat and cholesterol. Two things which we are trying to starve our bodies of because some fool named Ansel Keys told us that was killing us. How many people know who that is? If I were to show that magazine to the average person in the street and say, here's a picture of the greatest mass murderer that ever walked the face of the earth, they would look at me like I was crazy. They would have no idea. But they know their doctor tells them that they need to take their statins. They need to get their cholesterol down as close to zero as possible. That's like telling a human being, you know, when you breathe, you need to get your oxygen down as close to zero. We need to get rid of that oxygen in the air. Boy, that stuff is just oxidizing everything and poisoning you, causing harm, which is true. That's what oxygen does. It oxidizes. But just because it can combine with things that make bad products, we would be dead without it. Same thing with cholesterol. So that's a long answer to that question, but I think a comprehensive one. Yes, I think that Alzheimer's is definitely linked to ill metabolic health. I think that the two things that are the main causes of it are not enough fat in the diet and not enough cholesterol in the body. And both of those things occurred because of the recommendations to eat low cholesterol, low fat, no red meat. And humans just started starving themselves basically of everything that their brain is made out of. Remember, I've always said, you know, there's an old saying, you are what you eat. my version of that is eat what you are. Well, if your brain's made up of primarily fat and cholesterol, my friend, you better be putting a lot of fat and cholesterol from somewhere in your body, or your brain's not going to have what it needs. A great, great question. Thank you for the opportunity to go off on something that is so obviously logical. Why doesn't everybody get it? Now, I could be wrong, but I don't think so. I honestly don't think so. It makes great sense to me. Again, like I said, could be wrong. Great question, Princess. Thank you for that. I love when you guys feed me stuff like that, because I love to go off on stuff that just makes sense. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And yeah, everybody's saying sorry to Princess. Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm looking for more questions here. 8:36. Whoa, I am really, really behind. I need to start going fast. Hoping my plumbers show up. I haven't heard from them yet. Wow, haven't heard from them. And okay, my friends. Still going to have a live stream tomorrow night. Tomorrow's going to be a busy day for the boy here. Morning coffee with Mitch, Meetup with Mitch, and then Tuesday night. And I don't know what we're going to do Tuesday night yet. I don't know what we're going to do. I told you I'm thinking about something along the lines of Mitch's Home Shopping Club, where I can. And I mean, I know this is somewhat commercial, but in a lot of respects it isn't. And that is to start talking about the things that I have on my Amazon page. Getting suggestions from you of things that you're using that you maybe like better than the stuff I'm recommending, so that I can recommend those things. And really just focus on the execution of carnivore, the shopping for the tools and the gadgets and the food and all that other stuff, and do one live stream a week on that. We got enough live streams devoted to carnivore Q&As. I actually 7 mornings a week I do one of those. So Thursday night is my private community live stream. Saturday missed last week because of the plumber. But I think tomorrow night we might try that. I haven't decided yet. I'll let you know. You'll know by the thumbnail. And if you don't want to, if you think it's too crass, I'm being too commercial, trying to make a living, don't come. Don't watch it if it's not for you. But I think a lot of people, especially those people who actually were the reason I did that in the first place. People saw me using things in my videos, cooking and all that. And where'd you get this? Where'd you get that? You got a link for it. You got a link for it. And I started it. And it's supplemented my income a little bit. So it's a win-win situation. But if people aren't interested in that stuff, by all means, nobody's going to come to your house and drag you to the TV and make you watch it. So that may be tomorrow night. We'll see. Anyway, tomorrow's going to be a busy, busy day. I see Florida. Florida's here. Kathy, how you doing, Kathy? Good to see you. I got to find me some more questions. We still have time. Here's a question. Henny Smith. Hi, Mr. Mitch. Is milk and coffee and tea bad? Yes. If you're a carnivore. Milk contains sugar. Skim milk is the worst. It's all sugar because they take the fat out of it. Again, the stuff they tell you is supposed to be good for you is what's the worst for you. The stuff they tell you is bad for you is really the best for you. The best thing, if you insist on on lightening up your coffee, would be like heavy whipping cream. Pure fat. And it's better. God, it makes coffee taste so good when you put heavy whipping cream in it. But people are scared of that stuff because it's got fat in it, and I'm trying to be on a no-fat diet. That's the first and hardest thing the carnivores have to get out of their mind, is Instead of concentrating on getting rid of fat, you have to figure out ways to get more fat in there. You should get 70% of your calories every day from fat in order to be healthy and lose weight. How many people out there think that when you tell them that you're not crazy? We've known for years it's the sugar that makes you fat, the fat makes you skinny, the fat makes you healthy. It's so hard to change your complete and total mindset, to just march in the opposite direction of everybody else. That's very hard, especially with all the professionals and doctors out there telling you you're marching towards your death if you march in that direction. I can't believe so many people have got it so wrong. And we doubt ourselves because of that. We doubt ourselves. How could so many people be so wrong? How could everybody but me be so wrong? Well, that happens after 100 years of misinformation. And the results today in the rates of diseases increasing logarithmically prove that it's wrong. Prove that it's wrong. Hi, Alat. How you doing? Good to see you this morning. And that's where Jonathan checked in. Jonathan would love to be here Wednesday, I guess. Okay, we'll talk about it. Here's another question, Turamir. Not a question I got to try. You did. I saw that one when it first came across a long time ago. Spiritual Nomad. Brooke says, don't forget to hit that like button, everybody. Something I don't really even care about or ask about, but they say YouTube likes it. So if YouTube likes it, I like it because I want YouTube to be happy, obviously. Josephine C., I see a question here. I'm sure if it's been asked, Mitch, have you ever been hunting? No, I'm not a hunter. Not a hunter. My son is. He's got a hunting camp up in Tennessee. He and 5 other guys, they built cabins up there. They got, 100 acres or something of hardwood forest, and he goes, spends a week up there, hunts deer and like that. But no, I've never had the desire to go hunting. I like guns. I've shot. But I've never shot at anything other than a target. Even in my military days, I never was in battle and never had to shoot at anybody. And I've never killed an animal either. That doesn't mean I'm an animal rights activist. It just means that it's just something that's not for me. It's not for everybody. Hope that answered that for you. Mitch, you have a question from Princess. I think I got that one, if that was the one about the dementia. Megan the medic is here. How you doing, Megan? You're new. I haven't seen you before. I usually remember the names of people that have stopped by. James Ballou, if I didn't say hi to you, how you doing this morning? Looking for questions. Here's a question from Gary. Mitch, not on time, but under budget and to spec. The plumbing, I'm very happy with the guy. I'm very happy with. I'll be less happy with him if he doesn't show up today, but I'm very happy with him. I mean, he's enthusiastic about it. He really wants to do a good job, and from what I've seen so far, and I have a general contractor's license, I do understand how to build things. Considering the working conditions and what they got to go through crawling around under there, I think he's doing a bang-up job, and hopefully we'll get it done today. But I'm maybe one of the easiest guys and the most understanding guys to work for on the planet, because I've always been on any job these guys are doing. I've been on the other side of the job. I know the challenges. And I'll almost go right up to the point where I think they're really trying to take advantage of my good nature. I try to be the most understanding, nicest guy I can and make them feel that not only am I paying them, but I appreciate them. And I'll continue to be that way right up until something happens and I think this guy doesn't really care. And then we're done. we're done. But I don't think that's going to happen this time. I just hope he is, you know, all of these guys that do this kind of work, they're living on the edge. They're living from day to day financially. Their car breaks, you know. That's the only kind of person I can really afford to hire. I can't, because when I try to hire these big companies with all their overhead and their trucks and their guys paying, you know, you know, you're talking, they give you a bid of $10,000 for a job that should be $1,000. It's crazy. And believe me, they don't do, the work they do isn't as good as these guys that are working for themselves. So with everything, there goes risks. We'll see. I'll let you know when all the dust settles. When the water's flowing and nothing's leaking, I'll let you know how the whole experience worked out. Meanwhile, I'm fine now because I do have water. And my biggest fear was I would be stuck without water. But they've been very conscientious about keeping the water, fixing the leak I had, keeping the water turned on. And if it takes a couple of days longer, it'll take a couple of days longer. Meanwhile, while I'm talking here, I am scrolling. I see Ellen here. Hi, Ellen. Good morning. Good morning. How you doing? I'm up to 8:52. Well, maybe a half an hour behind in the chat, but I'm catching up. Oh, man. I hope this isn't too boring for you. Mitch, that person sounds like a freaking vegan. Yeah, the person that left that comment about I'm killing people, of course. What do you think they are? They're not even a real person. They're some kind of an activist or somebody that just goes in carnivore channels. They ask 4 or 5 right in a row of the dumbest questions. Sounds like your cholesterol's probably pretty high, huh? That was another one of them. I said, I did answer that one because I was the first one I saw. I thought, I didn't know that it was a troll yet. So I said something like astronomical, and I love it. But here's another question from Princess Mom. Princess says, question, also need help with parasites and cleansing. Does just going carnivore help, or should we do a cleanse? What the hell is a cleanse? What is a cleanse, Princess? What is a detox? What does that even mean? It's a great sales tool to sell you something. But I mean, our bodies are not like sewer pipes. You can't just pour Drano in there and let it sit. There's nothing you can do better than eating a carnivore diet. And your body will naturally detox. There's no way to force that, I believe. I think that's all bullshit of the highest order. Cleanse. What is a colon cleanse? It's friggin' Santa. It's the kind of crap they give you before you get a colonoscopy to really clean you out. It's just a gonzo turbo laxative. But that cleanses out not just the bad stuff, it cleanses everything out, including whatever beneficial bacteria you have in there. There is no such thing. If you've got parasites, you need a particular poison that will kill the parasites. That's a prescription, I believe. Worms, like a wormer when dogs get worms. I think if you're healthy, you won't get those things. There's nothing for them to feed on, really. But I would be very wary. There may be something that people bill as a cleanse or a detox that actually does some good, but I think more of them are just another scam to sell us another high-priced, pharmaceutical-sounding, over-the-counter product. It may, in so many cases, do more harm than good. That is just my personal opinion. I have not done a lot of research on it. I'm just going by my gut insight. having tried a few of them in my life and realized there's nothing magical about them. Proper nutrition and good health is the only cure other than chemistry and pharmaceuticals, which all have tremendous side effects. I got news for you. The only side effect that a ribeye or bacon and eggs has is amazing health. That's it. That's it. Nobody talks about it like that, but that's the way it is. So I'd be interested to hear, and let me know in the comments, because like I say, I don't guarantee I'm right about everything. I'm just giving you what I think is common sense and my insights here. I hate to use the term wisdom because that sounds like I'm bragging, but anybody who's been on this planet and seen the bullshit that I've seen over the past 70, almost 8 years, has to, if you don't develop some wisdom, it's because you're dead already. So I try to put that all together in some kind of meaningful picture, overall picture of what's real and what isn't. And I don't think these cleanses are really what they're made out to be. So I'd be careful of that. And if you think you found one that you think has some merit and you think there's some reasoning, let me know what it is. I'd love to see it. I may have, there's always exceptions to everything that anybody says. But interesting question. Good question. Thank you. You're batting 1,000 today. Ellen's chatting away. Where's Peter? I haven't seen Peter other than at the opening. There he is. I knew you were there, Peter. Oh, plug in your curry interview again, my friends. Listen. I am not going to feel guilty about shamelessly plugging my coffee when everybody in here is shamelessly plugging everything they do. Yeah. Oh, Peter. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. I'm going to give you such hell. You better, be prepared for a busting tomorrow. But it's because I love you. Yeah, I think we'll have a good time. I'm too spooky for you, chimed in, says good morning. And Ellen is talking about doggies. And we're still running along half an hour behind. Okay, I haven't heard from my plumber yet. He was supposed to text me when he left the house and to pick up his helper. We'll see. I will let you know tomorrow morning what happened. All right, I'm going to run through here now because it is almost 9:30 already. Wow. God, if anybody asks me, what's the fastest hour in the day for you, Mitch? I would have to say the first hour of my morning coffee thing. It seems like seconds ago I clicked that go live button at 32 seconds before 8:30, allowing 2 seconds for StreamYard to actually start the stream, so that when the 30-second countdown was done at precisely 8:30 a.m., you heard this. That's it. Trying to be professional. I don't know how professional it is to be 30 minutes behind, but it is what it is. Big crowd this morning, 172 people here on a Monday morning. Wow. That's incredible. I hope you guys are all enjoying this. I'm having a good time. Hey, Bill Cook's got a question. I found one. Mitch, do you add butter, cream, or bacon grease to your coffee? I've been asked that many times. And questions have to be repeated because not everybody is here every time when I answer every question. So I've learned that. Just because I've made a video on a subject before, I shouldn't make another one. And that question is asked me all the time. I don't add anything. I drink black coffee. I used to way back, 55 years, when I was in the Army. I started when I went in the Army, I drank coffee with cream and sugar because I grew up, when I was living at home, my mother was a cream and sugar. And that's how I started on coffee. But while I was in the Army, I developed a taste for black coffee. I've been drinking black coffee ever since. And the thought of putting anything, even those flavored coffees, especially those creamers that are like wallpaper paste that have all of those chemicals and garbage and sugar in them that people use, I don't like it. I like the taste. I like the taste of black coffee. Something about it. And it's an acquired taste. That's what they say about these things. It's an acquired taste. No, I don't. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Butter in coffee, a lot of people love that. And that's not a bad idea for a lot of people who maybe aren't getting enough fat living this lifestyle. Maybe it's not a bad idea. Consider it like supplementing fat. You know what I mean? Consider it like a supplement. I'm supplementing fat. That's up to you. If you just like it, I would go ahead and do it. I would go ahead and do it. I don't know about bacon grease in the coffee though. I don't even want to try that, to tell you the truth, but butter or heavy whipping cream, just fine. Just fine. But not for me. Not for me. All right, I'm scrolling down. When I go silent, you can pretty well assume that I am speed reading through these things. And if I see something, even if it's not a question, that I think is entertaining, see, somebody agrees with me. DS111, he's like me, don't want to shoot or stomp out an animal. I don't mind squishing a roach now and then, but anything that's got a face on it, feel funny. But I don't hesitate to eat them. I mean, I don't confuse that. Oh, Peter. Thank you, Peter. I love the idea of it. Mitch's Home Shopping Network, to show and talk about all the great things you use. And yes, thank you. Thank you for that. I think it might be fun. We'll see. The worst can happen is everybody says, it's just too commercial for me. The guy's just plugging his, he just wants to make money. He doesn't care about us. Just trying to sell us stuff. If that were the case, you'd know it, man. I'd have sponsors up the wazoo. No sponsors. I'm my own sponsor. This show is brought to you by, well, me. That's it. That's it. Dixie likes the idea. She thinks it's great. That's really cool. Well, we'll do it tomorrow night. Let's just say we'll do it tomorrow night. Maybe we'll talk about it a little bit at our meetup and get some ideas from you guys. We'll do it. If it lasts an hour, that's fine. There's no law that says a live stream has to be 2 hours long. Cecilia says, how many watching are over 75 or have started carnivore after 80? I am 1.5 years. I don't know what you mean. I am 1.5. I don't know what that means. You asked if people were over 75 or 80. When you're saying you are 5 years, are you saying that you're over 80 and you've been carnivore for 5 years? This problem today is a must for everyone to share with their older friends. I agree 1,000%. That's why I started doing carnivore on YouTube, because I am an older guy. And I think that was one of the reasons why I thought I could do some good for people. Talking to people who have long ago stopped thinking they were immortal in their 20s and 30s, could do anything, eat anything, not get fat, not have diseases. People that already found out that if you don't take care of it, life will kick you in the ass. But it's not too late. That's the epitome of my message here, is that never too late. Never too late. And try to be an example. Thank you for that question. Mama Bear, I get so tired of this detox nonsense. Mitch has hit the nail on the head. Thank you for, yeah, I like it when you guys kind of reinforce some of the things I say. So it's important to me because it doesn't make me feel like I'm standing out like a sore thumb in a world of everybody else who thinks I'm wrong. So if you agree with me, don't hesitate to let me know. Appreciate it. Question. Will you absolutely, Princess. I may even do a little live stream from there. I can do that from my cell phone. So watch tomorrow sometime afternoon. It'll just pop up. May not even be a dedicated thumbnail on it. It may just, my default thumbnail is just a ribeye. So we'll see. But I will. Oh yeah, I'll definitely film it, whether it warrants a big long video watching some of us sitting around. I've made those videos in the past. They were never real popular, but we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I'm going to do something to memorialize it for sure. If nothing else, to show that meetups are hard to put together and get people to come to, which is what I'm finding by doing some of these things. A lot of talking about it, a lot of promoting, a lot of making arrangements, and then 5 or 10 people show up. You could just basically give them a call and say, "Hey, let's have lunch on Thursday." Okay, see you in Melbourne. Make it a lot easier. Like to see new people come. Steve is coming from South Carolina. I hope he doesn't regret that long drive. I don't know if it's going to be a big enough deal, but I'm sure he'll enjoy meeting all of us, and we'll enjoy meeting him. Ha! Love this name, Nearly Carnivore. I haven't seen that before. That's a great name. Great name. I really appreciate great names. Jackie W. Question, pondering, why do no sugar items like coffee creamer have to be sweetened? Why can't they just make unsweetened? I made my own chocolate creamer with no sweetener. It was pretty good. Well, the problem is that people want sweet stuff. That's why they make electrolytes with flavoring and sweeteners. People are addicted. People need the sweet taste, which just sabotages everything they do. But the coffee creamers, it's not just the sweet taste in it. Even if it's a no-sugar coffee creamer, it's got artificial sweeteners in it, which still trigger that cephalic phase response that we've talked about. Cause you to get insulin dumped in your blood. Start off a whole cascade of shit that's not good for you and fools with your blood sugar levels. All of that stuff is designed to sell for the purpose of feeding your addiction. You're not thinking about that stuff. And people don't like to buy unsweetened things because their addiction doesn't want to hear that. Their addiction's looking for sugar. And since sugar is supposed to always accompany anything that's sweet, and artificial sweeteners haven't been around long enough for our basic programming to understand the fact that it's a new world, my friends, and a sweet taste so often, and even more often these days, does not have the sugar that you expect, which is one of the reasons why we are getting more and more screwed up, fooling our subconscious minds, screwing with our biochemistry, that's getting ready to handle all that sugar, and then we tease it and it doesn't happen. So yeah, if you make your own, you know what's in it. Oh, I got a text. Is it my plumber, please? Dan, picking up Phil in 10 minutes. Okay, great. Let me actually answer him and let him know that I got that text. I'm going to say, see ya. Good. He's late. But as they say, my friends, better late than never. Jackie. Drink your coffee black. Not Jackie. Yeah, Jackie. Drink your coffee black, Jackie. Black. See? Black. You don't need no stinking creamer. You know what needs creamer? Your carb addiction needs creamer. Stop giving it what it wants, even though you think it's your idea. That's the amazing thing about how it works. It does your thinking for you and makes you think that it was your idea. Think of the lame excuses you've used every time you've fallen prey to a craving or an addictive whim. Accept the reality of the fact that we are not in control of our bodies. Our ancient programming and subconscious mind is in charge of getting our bodies what it needs. Our conscious mind is like a child taking suggestions. And damn if those suggestions aren't great sales pitches that make so much sense. And if you don't think that's true, think about some of the things that went through your mind as you were about to eat something that you desperately thought you didn't want to, but found a reason. The greatest excuse that I think most of us use. The greatest excuse. And anybody who hasn't said this is lying to themselves and the rest of us. Just one last time, and I'll start again tomorrow. That was the title of my first YouTube video as a carnivore a year and a half ago. I'll start the diet again on Monday. I mean, that one expression says volumes about what's going on. How can it even be the same person who has studied this, gotten themselves ready, got their house ready, put themselves in a position to be able to execute this diet or this lifestyle? How can it be the same person without being a multiple personality schizophrenic that 3 or 4 days after starting is already accepting those lame rationalizations? Well, it's hard and it's a big change. I really want to do this, but God, that donut would be so good. I promise, hand to God, I promise this is the last time I'll start again. And pick your fill in the blanks. Tomorrow, next week, first of the month, after the first of the year, resolution, or not at all, which is usually the case. And that's why, if you could get some real data and real statistics and real numbers of the number of people that succeed long-term on carnivore, like I have and some of you have, you would find that those statistics would be so discouraging that many people would say, well, if I only have a 1 in 1,000 chance of actually long-term benefiting from this, not just a short-term yo-yo again, why bother? Until you address the real causes, the addiction, all that other shit makes no difference. Doesn't matter how well you do it, whether you're perfect, whether you eat this, avoid that. All that shit is academic if you can't stick to it. And that's the most important thing. And that's what we try to emphasize in this little group of ours. Because what good is it? What good is it to go through that whole drill just to gain back everything you managed to lose, have all those illnesses that you fought down just rage back up again? Why bother? Why bother? I think you do yourself more harm. That's how the first 75 years of my life went. And that's why I'm so adamant about this, because this is now the easiest thing I've ever done in my life. All of that shit went away. I have absolute and complete food freedom, and nothing nags at me, and I want for nothing. And that is the miracle of miracles, just by letting my biology and physiology take care of itself and stop interfering with it other than just giving it proper nutrition. Takes time. There's no instant fix, no cleanse that fixes it, no magic pill, no magic injection. There's a lot of temporary things, and if they don't cause more harm than good, maybe it might work. But I'll see you in a year or two, and you'll be back to where you were before you started all this mess and even heard about carnivore. That's just the sad fact. I'm doing everything I can to keep that from happening to you guys. Really, really. Sometimes it's not easy. The propaganda is enormous. It'd be interesting to see if any of this stuff. Oh, wow, look at this. Cecilia Howe says, oops, I'm 81 and a half years old. Well, I knew you had to be older than a year and a half and started carnivore years ago. Cecilia, hang on a second. Have I got something for you? Atta girl. Yes. Proud of you. That's great. Thanks for clearing that up. Oh, yeah. Typos. How many of us have gotten in serious trouble because of autocorrect? Or a typo or an omission. That's why I hate texting. Man, just talk to me. Talk to me. I say to my kids, give me a call. There can be no misunderstanding when you're talking to somebody. But Jesus, half the time when you text, you have to read so much into what you think they meant when they wrote this, but it could have meant that. You don't know what their tone inflection, their voice is. You don't know what mood they're in. You don't know anything. So your mind starts to try to figure out, well, was he happy? Was he sad? Is he joking? Is he busting me? Is he mad at me? I hate that game. Hate that game. That's why I don't like texting. James Ballou, do you accept PayPal? I don't know what they accept. I think they might. It's you have to go to that Buy Me a Coffee site and follow the link. Here, I'll put it up in here again for you if you happen to still be here. And I think they probably do. Most places do. I need to go check that out. You're the second person that asked me that. I didn't know either. So, Ed, DLC, yes. I like coffee with my own saliva. That's what I put in my coffee. Yeah, saliva, my own. Well said. Well, obviously I'm in no rush because the plumber's not here yet, so we'll stick around as long. I got 168 people here in this thing. 168 people. Ah, look at this. Tammy, black coffee for the win. Yes. This is great. Ed says, I do not listen to nutrition information from fat doctors, only skinny ones. I don't even listen to nutrition information from skinny ones either, Ed. I don't listen to nutritional information from any doctors, period, end of story. I'm telling you. Some of them happen to be lucky. Maybe some of them aren't carb addicts, but boy, they all got a prescription pad, don't they? But there is some validity to that. If I'm going to listen to a doctor or even consider his opinion, it would certainly be from a doctor that looked like they were in good health. But then again, they might be just young enough where they haven't started paying the price for the crap diet that they eat. I will tell you this, that you go into any medical establishment, be it a doctor's office or a hospital, and look at the women that work there, the nurses. They are some of the unhealthiest looking people I've ever seen. I don't know what they're thinking. Not to say there aren't healthy nurses. I'm sure there are. Bill Cook says, I got 70 cans of sardines and still working up to a sardine fast. My question, whenever I hear about sardine fasts, whenever I see a video about somebody on a sardine fast, whenever I see a comment about somebody, wow, I'm 13 days into my 30-day sardine fast, and my answer to that is, why? Why? That's all. I can't figure a reason to do a sardine fast. Obviously, you figured out something I haven't figured out yet. Let me know why. What is it that a sardine fast is supposed to do to you? Is that another detox or cleanse? Why am I wrong in doing none of these challenges and this and that and changing this and doing a 3-day fast and doing the other thing? Why am I wrong just saying, I just eat every day? I just eat what I'm supposed to eat. What am I missing? What much better health could I be having than just being steady, feeding my body a steady stream of the right nutritious stuff without trying to fix it all the time, change it up all the time? I know these things are all great excuses to make YouTube videos, but why? Send me an email and tell me why. OldGuyCarnivore@gmail.com. And if some of those things make sense, I'll investigate it. And if I think they make sense, I'll tell you. It's not a bad idea, and here's why. But right now, nothing's been obvious to me about why people would do. I can understand why people go on the lion diet. I don't think that's necessary either. I don't think beef, butter, bacon, and eggs is really necessary. Although a lot of us settle into that because those turn out to be the most nutritious foods. But there's nothing wrong with chicken once in a while, or fish once in a while, or pork once in a while. Or if you're not a real carb addict and you're not afraid of triggering an addiction, even a veggie once in a while ain't going to kill you. But if you're a hard carb addict, stay away from the sweet things, stay away from the fruit. And why chances are you don't like vegetables anyway, like me. If I never ate another vegetable in my life, it'd be too soon. The only vegetables I liked were the addictive ones. Potatoes, French fries, that kind of shit. I never liked, not since I was a kid. Children don't like vegetables. They push them away. They're not food for the human body. God, are we screwed up? Not us here. We're perfect and smart and intelligent. The best kind of people. But everybody else out there is just screwed up. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Well, I can't believe we got so many people hanging in here with me today. This is crazy for a Monday morning. 170 people. Wow. So I'm still going through the chat, 9:49. I'm not too far behind, about 10 minutes. Okay, catching up. Either that or you guys are getting tired and slowing down and letting me catch up. But I'm still actually reading what goes by. Bill Cook says coupons. Don't know what you mean by that, but in capital letters, it must mean something. Bill Cook is blaming Aaron. What did you do, Aaron? Deborah Wisecow, how you doing? Didn't see you yet this morning. I have enough trouble eating 1 can of sardines fast, nothing happening. I'm with you. Show me the money. Tell me something that makes sense. Did I say hi to retired Rick? If not, how you doing, Rick? Good to see you. Hey, Ribeye Susie's got a question. Mitch, how do you like to fix your smoked salmon from Sam's Club? I don't fix it. It's sliced already. I cut off a hunk. I take a knife and a fork and I slice it into smaller, couple ways to make it in smaller pieces. I take and put put the salmon on one half of the plate, put pork rinds on the other half of the plate, grab a napkin and a fork, go sit down in front of the TV and make hors d'oeuvres. I take a piece of the salmon, I put it on the pork rind, pop it in my mouth. I got smoked salmon, which tastes great. I got crunch from the pork rinds, and I enjoy it. And what I'll do, if it's going to be a whole meal for me, if I'm going to eat it instead of a whole meal, not as like an appetizer, I'll never eat it as a snack because I don't eat snacks. I am so against the concept of snacking. I haven't had a bite of food in my mouth in 2.5 years other than during a meal, a full meal. I know it sounds crazy, but it's just I've settled into that. I will not just take a bite, even if it's healthy food. I will not take a bite unless the intention is there to eat till satiety, and I've gotten used to that. And the urge to snack or pop food into my mouth at various times between meals, before meals, after meals, has gone away completely. It never crosses my mind. And if it doesn't cross your mind, you won't do it. So when I do, I may have a burger patty or an omelet and have the smoked salmon with it before it, or as a side dish. But it's always during a meal when my intention is to eat until I don't want to eat anymore. If I'm going to make a meal out of it, those things come 1 pound to a package. I will eat at least half of that whole package. Cut it in half. Put half back in the fridge. Put half on my plate. Put a pile of pork rinds on there and have a meal. And if I'm not satisfied, if I'm not satiated by the time I eat that half a pound of salmon and all those pork rinds, I will go back to the fridge and get more. But generally, I'm done by then. And I'll generally eat that as my first meal of the day and follow it up with a really, really substantial second meal of something. It's delicious. It costs like $14 a pound. That would make that a $7 meal if I ate half of those, which is a little bit more than burgers, but still within a realm of reasonableness. Good question. Good question. I do like that stuff. May not be the best salmon because I know it's farm raised, the stuff that, but you know, I don't worry about, I don't agonize over that. I think on balance, most of my food is as healthy as I can find. And there's still some nutritional value in that stuff. You guys are talking about your dogs. Very common topic here. Pat Ramirez chimed in at 9:55, man, almost a half hour late. I mean, an hour and a half late. But good to see you, man. I don't care what time you get here, as long as you get here sooner or later. Oh, here's the Bill Cook explains the coupons. Coupons is why I have 70 cans. Back to 10, top 4 savings. Oh, yeah. Isn't it crazy, man? We go to Sam's Club, we go to Costco or BJ's or one of those things, and we say, wow, if I buy a 55-gallon drum of peanut butter, look at the money I'm going to save. And they got these humongous packages of everything. And we have a tendency to say, you know, wow, I'm going to look at it. It's so much cheaper if I buy it that way. And we never go through it all. And then at half the time it spoils. We got to throw it away. You're better off buying a small package of it. Plus, if it's something that we really don't want to eat, like all that snack food, man, you know, you buy a box of Cheez-Its that's as big as one of those 30-pack toilet paper packages. You know, I mean, you could use it as a moving carton full of Cheez-Its. because it's a little cheaper. Well, you either got to eat them or throw them away. They know what they're doing in these, quote, warehouse clubs. They go under the auspices of, well, we're selling commercially to business. Bullshit. They sell this shit to individuals way more than they sell to businesses. Businesses, most of them, have wholesale supply places that deliver the stuff to their business in trucks at prices equal to or less than these warehouse clubs. These warehouse clubs are designed to make you and I, the average consumer, think we're getting the best deal, when in reality we're buying 30 times more of this crap than we could ever use. And it goes bad. That's the attitude I go into Sam's Club with. And it serves me pretty good. Ketra says, ketogenic woman said a 3-day sardine to help get rid of the pain in her knees. Okay. Take that for what it's worth. Most of us, just by eating a straight carnivore lifestyle, our joint pain has gone away just as much as if we would try to do a 3-day sardine fast that in my mind, I get just thinking about eating nothing but those little fish for 3 days, kind of missing out on real food, bacon and eggs, ribeyes and ground beef. I think all that stuff is just gimmicky. That's my opinion. Pat Ramirez says she is a woman, Mitchie. Oh, okay, Pat. You remind me of that Saturday Night Live skit where they had somebody named Pat and you couldn't tell whether it was a man or a woman. Remember that? Thank you for telling me. I will remember that, Pat. I will remember that, Pat. Is your name Patricia? Do they call you Patty? See, there's no mistake in that. But like Sam, there's a lot of women named Sam, but if if somebody named Sam comes on here and doesn't tell me that she's really Samantha, how would I know? How would I know? So thanks for letting me know. I'm glad I actually noticed that because I'm trying to read these things. 10:02. Man, I am almost there. I am right there. I found it. And Patricia, yes, I knew it. I knew it, Patricia. Perfect. I will remember that now. I will remember. I'll remember it. Once that's something like that. Some call me Trish. Yeah, I know a lot of, and there's no mistaking Trish for a man or a woman. But if I ever misgender anybody here because they have a name that goes both ways, if you know what I mean, just tell me. I'll really try to remember. I like to know whether it's a woman, because I'll call a woman sweetie. I'll use some terms of affection or endearment that I'd never call a guy, because then people would look at me sideways. So thank you. And I know there's still those hardcore feminists that get upset when somebody calls them sweetie. But to me, that's always been the greatest term of affection for me. No disrespect. Sometimes you just can't remember everybody's name. See, I've been in business. I've been dealing with people all my life. Lots of people. So many people, I can't remember them all. And certainly here on YouTube, try to remember them all. But I always found there were two fallback names that I could always use when I was talking to people. If it was a woman, it would be thank you, sweetie. Or a waitress or somebody. Maybe somebody gets offended by that. But how else you're not wearing a name tag? What am I supposed to say? Try to make it personal. And for a man, it's buddy. Hey, buddy, how you doing? So I can use one of those two default names for anybody and hopefully make them feel like they're my friend or I like them or care about them. So in lieu of knowing somebody's name, those are very handy little things that don't get you in trouble too often, but there's always some hard-ass, sexist, whatever, man or woman that's just going to look for any reason to get offended in this world and will come at you with guns blazing should you offend their sensibilities, a crime worse than murder and punishable by death, according to them. Brooke is a woman too. Oh my God. The last Brooke I knew was a guy. He owned a cigar shop I went to. Thank you. Yes, your name can go either way. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, I'm going to put out a call to all women out there whose names might not indicate that they are female. Please let me know. According to YouTube, my demographics are 2/3 men, 1/3 women. That's what YouTube tells me. I would rather it be the other way around. I like girls. I love you guys. So if you're a girl, and to me, a girl is a female. I don't care if you're 90 years old, you're still a girl to me. I'm still a boy. You know, I mean, I don't think any of us have really grown up. But yeah, if you're female, let me know and I will try to remember. So we have Brooke, we have Pat. That's great. That's great. Thank you for that. And I'm down at the bottom of the chat, but you keep going. Holy cow, look at all the new chats since I got to the bottom of the chat. All right, listen, my friends, it's time to go. It's time to go. I will be back tomorrow morning, hopefully, with great news that my plumbing is fixed. We can get on to the next phase of these repairs that I have to do. One step at a time, $1 million at a time. Holy cow. Anyway, thanks for the coffees. Those of you that have done it, let me make sure I didn't miss anybody. I don't think I did. I think I thanked everybody. I did. Thank you guys for that. I will see you in the morning. Thanks for coming. Sun shining here in Florida. It's going to be in the 70s today. I'm going to get rid of this sweatshirt. I'm going to get into t-shirt and shorts again like I haven't been in a long time and get my ass out into that sunlight for a while and soak it all in. Wish you all were here able to do that if you're in a place where you can't. And until tomorrow morning at 8:30,